Comrades and folks everywhere, greetings and welcome to the 20th General Secretary Debates of the United Socialist States of Eldom. I am Amuru Dora, and I'll be your host this fine evening. Today is the 5th of December of 2023, the middle of the winter of the year 291 of the Traveler's Era. Today I'm joined by two of our most prominent and hard-working comrades in the USSE, the current Commissioner of Foreign Affairs, Comrade IGK of Gehenazar, and the former Commissioner of Security and Internal Affairs, Comrade Lead of Renefius. We're going to have a fair debate regarding the General Secretary elections, and we're going to answer some of the most prominent questions regarding their election campaigns. Right now, if Comrade IGK wouldn't mind, we'll begin by their introduction. Please join us, Comrade IGK.
I'm IGK. Many of you know me in-game as Magnusol. I enter this debate today with hopes to prove my capability as a leader in today's era and lead the USSE through these dark times that surround Eldham in the third year of its cycle. Many of the people here know me through my work in the Commission of Foreign Affairs and my diplomatic expertise since the Eldham Union. What began as a story for me as some cheerful and loyal friends squatting in the Northeast, playing our cards right region, not once but twice, long after the dissolution of the Eldham Union following Phoenix. Prior to this GenSec election campaign, I have been serving, in the words of many in the administration, as quote-unquote one of the best commissioners of foreign affairs and diplomats that the USSE had in government, securing the loyalties of the surrounding nations under a united banner according to my interpretation of MAG's policy of one goal, one Sirona, and silver-tonguing our diplomatic network to bloom.
Thank you so much, Comrade IGK. Right now, we will be taking a short break, and then we'll be back with the first questions of the debate and a short introduction from Comrade Lead. Thank you so much for joining us tonight in the 20th GenSec debates. Right now, we'll proceed with the first question regarding the General Secretary debates, and afterwards we'll have an introduction from our Comrade Lead and have him answer the question as well. Right now, the first question is: the USSE is an incredibly diverse nation, and one of our citizens has something that they bring to the table. Should they become the General Secretary, what should our citizens know about you, and what unique contributions do you bring that many others might not? Comrade IGK, you can begin now.
Unique in the sense is that something that separates all of us, what makes us different. However, in the case of about everyone here, all of us have something that we are good at. For me, I got into the Commissioner of Foreign Affairs because I am very good at getting around and gaining connections and securing influence for this group. Now, when it comes to that, I am also very good with other general stuff, such as the security, logistics, armaments, and building. But what separates me here is the experience I've gained all the way in the Northeast to lead a nation forward, to lead it to prosperity, to lead it to something better for the future. As mentioned in my introduction, I came into a disunited region. It unified it not once but twice under my hand with the cooperation of other people there, not by conquest, but by tongue. That is something that is very hard to do on this server, considering a lot of people here would rather do it by force. Therefore, I see myself as someone who can help bring unity and a sense of order to the nation into this organization. By doing so, because of that, I feel uniquely experienced here to lead the USSE forward into a new era where the third year is approaching us, or as we know it, the year 300 Traveler's Era. Because of my expertise, I believe I would be uniquely qualified to lead this nation, both diplomatically, connection-wise, and logistics-wise, towards a secured future and a prosperous one where our activity is gained and our stockpiles of grown to defend ourselves, that we will no longer need to be under threat under various different groups, as you know, in the past few years of our existence since the server and organization was made. And that's about it.
Thank you so much, Comrade IGK. Right now, we'll be joined in answering the question. I'll repeat it again for Comrade Lead of Renefius. Comrade Lead, for our viewers and listeners, was the former Commissioner of Security and the one and only Commissioner of Internal Affairs that the USSE had. He was the sitting Deputy Secretary for the USSE for 2.5 terms during the tenure of Comrade Magirius as the General Secretary. Right now, we're joined by Comrade Lead. Comrade Lead, the USSE is an incredibly diverse nation, and one of our citizens has asked the same question that they asked Comrade IJK. What do you bring to the table? Like, should you become a General Secretary? What should our citizens know about you? What are your unique contributions that you bring that many others might not?
You know me as the industry man, so I'm very good at doing industry stuff. As you know, besides Urban, the guy that you call if you need something done when it comes to making war stuff and stuff like that. I'm very good at logistics with me and Urban, like Urban actually teaching me how to do proper logistics. Right now I think I've built like 5 or 6 report stations. I know how to operate them in wars and all that stuff. I know Diplo stuff from being DepSec of Magirius. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Urban, and I also learned a lot from Emma. When it comes to Diplo, yeah, I think that's the 3 main things. Like, I know how to keep this nation running as it is. I know how to maybe upgrade it here and there, tweak it here and there to maybe let it run a little bit smoother, and I know how to defend us. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lead. Right now, we'll be proceeding to the second question of the debates. This question, we have been seeing it consistently. It has come up for several administrations, and now it has come up for this General Secretary debate as well. The question is in regards of our autonomous states and protectorates. There have been several complaints that places like Carino fell to inactivity. Shakumagu has not seen the massive growth that we initially had hoped for. And even Valresia finds itself under constant threat. As a General Secretary, what is your plan to address this region and our various regions as well that have found themselves a victim to these ailments and alleviate or even resuscitate these parts of the nations? Comrade IJK, you have the floor.
Well, when we come to the topic of these states and protectorates, we have to look at one thing: the organization and activity of the government in this organization. We all know that this current state of things have been quite sporadically not as active as we hope. Because of that, that means the people below us are not getting what they need. They're not getting the advice they need. They're not getting any instruction what they need, and they're just left floating to fend for themselves and do what they can do, which is, frankly, not a lot. Now, as General Secretary, I wish to form a cohesive group of people in cabinet to address these issues, to give the instructions and the means for the people below us to work towards resolving their issues. And when it comes to my own autonomous group, autonomous state, whatever you would call it, it is actually no longer under any threat anymore. That is a big thing that has been solved when I was ruling. However, the other two that will need to be addressed under my term when we can form a cohesive cabinet where each and everyone works towards the agenda of growing our autonomous states, whether by building, development, logistics, or etc. That is it.
Thank you so much, Comrade IJK. Right now, Comrade Lead, you have the floor. I'll repeat the question one more time for you. This is a question regarding our autonomous states and protectorates. There have been several complaints that Carino fell to inactivity, Shakumago has not seen the massive growth we initially hoped for, and even Valresia finds itself under constant threat. Now, if you are the General Secretary, what is your plan to address these regions that found themselves victims to these ailments, and how do you plan on even resuscitating these parts of the nations? You have the floor, Comrade Lead.
Okay, let me start off with Valresia. I have to say, yeah, IGK did a very good job there. The region is now very stable. If it's still about Valresia, I don't think they're really a thrown like on the thread right now. If it's still a thing, we can't really do that much against that. We have to talk to like Quiltme and the government of Russia to do stuff against that, because like we can't really fix that region as a whole, because this region is not very not easy to manage. I think IGK can agree on that. For Shagumagu, that's also the thing we tried to like get them a lot of people, but there's the same problem. Shagumagu just formed again, and we had to eliminate some problems left and right before we can actually like start up this country and like setting it up properly. Like we had this succession movement that went down and all that stuff, and we can probably now start advertising it more to get more new people in. For Carino, the problem was back then when we vassalized them, they were pretty inactive, and the problem was that like Frogchat, the leader of Carino at the time, he resigned now. He was also very inactive, and it was basically like, yo, we give you some weeks to so Frog can basically get back to the server, which he is now, so we can make it active again. That is like it's basically just an inactivity problem over there. We just need to advertise it more. And for Smoon, which isn't even in the question, but I will basically answer. Smoon has also the problem of inactivity. I'm fixing it right now because I'm talking to Joshi basically every fucking day. We're fixing it right now. Plus, we're integrating Smoon into our economy right now, so they actually have a job in our economy, make some money for themselves, to spend it on the country to get more people in. And I think that part is covered.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lead. Right now, we'll be taking a very short break and we'll come back with the third and final question of the main debate section. And afterwards, we'll proceed to receive questions from the audience. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Thanks once again for joining us tonight on the 20th GenSec debates of the USSE. Right now, we will proceed with the third and final question of the main debate part, GenSec debates tonight. This question addresses the USSE, as other nations as well, are in many ways a large family and community. Now, should you become the General Secretary, would your administration have any kind of active plans to further build community between our many cities? Or would they create lore events or further make the USSE a fun experience for all of our players and citizens? And if so, what would these plans look like should you become the 20th GenSec? The floor is with Comrade IGK right now.
Okay, let me just begin by stating that when you come to the question of the USSE being part of a large family, you are right about that. I am a believer of Majarius' prior policy of a pan-Sirona idealism. And with that, I believe it is to be in our best interest to further our community ties with the continent. And we should be cautious on how we expand internationally beyond the continent. We should work on organizing events with our allies, trainings with our allies, and work in perhaps even working with trades to share resources and develop new ties that will be symbolized physically, such as border towns or even twin cities. And with that, we can exchange builders for materials to help with our allies to build further cultural and diplomatic ties. As a nation on Sirona, and the biggest and most active one here, we need to be taking a more active role to bring the continent together, not just politically, but in every way possible we can. Because in the end, otherwise, the same chaos that has plagued the entire continent for the past 2 years will just continue like a cycle. From the LDM Union to the Sirona League, we all have seen it. They come and go. We need a permanent solution, and I intend to find that.
Thank you so much, Comrade IJK. Right now, I'll retell the question again to Comrade Lead, and you will have the floor. The USSE, like many nations, are a large family and a community. Should your administration rise to power, what kind of active plans do you have to further build our community between like the many cities we have? Do you have any kind of plans for lore events? Do you plan to make the USSE a fun experience in general for all of our players and citizens? And if these plans exist, what should they look like if you were to become the 20th GenSec? You have the floor, Comrade Lead.
Okay, first I want to say, yes, the USC should be a fun experience. Like, we all play a fucking game here. It should be fun, at least. And I think we almost achieved that. Like, Urbon, Sneaky, Windtree, and some other grinders of the nation, including me, may like grind a lot of war stuff, so we never have to like how to say that, we never have to like I'm missing the word here. Have to feel that we like get war decked and have to grind a lot of shit in 1 week, so we don't have that problem. For RP stuff, we have something going on right now. Urban and I started to plan something that developed into something really, really big. We have some other nations involved in this, and it will be funny. So RP part, like we have a big one with other nations together. Plus, Darkmiss is coming up, and we will have a Darkmiss event. I don't know where we host it, maybe in Cascaya again, but there are plans to bring Darkness back. Because of the big lore part that we are doing right now, I don't know if we make like another lore part this term. Maybe we create like some smaller lore events, but I don't know. For now, we would need to see how the turn develops. Maybe we find ourselves in a war on the first day, maybe not. We have to see. To further down, to further build a community between many cities. When it comes to in-game stuff, I want to expand our road system, because we still don't have a fucking road system in Metroma, and our ice highways, because they're not finished. That's like in-game part. And for Discord stuff, I mean, we're sitting here in VC, and like literally every day, everybody is like everybody can join. That won't change on my administration, obviously. I mean, IGK said stuff about Serona. Yeah, when it comes to Serona, I mean, I have Majiris as my DevSec, basically Mr. Serona, called by some people because he is good with this CC with the Commonwealth. But my goal is not as far as Majiris going with like a Serona-wide MDP and stuff. It's more of like, I want to achieve an NAP with all of Serona, or with most of Serona, because I know there are still people out there that hate the UC or hate the Wolves, plus the Wolves hate themselves. And there's Conquester, and there's the OVU that hate Magirius. So yeah, we can't really get an NAP with all of Serona, I guess. Will be still the goal, but yeah. That's where we're going.
All right, thank you, Comrade Lead. I want to give you a free 2 or 3 minutes where you can address the nation directly, say whatever you want to say to them before we conclude the GenSec debates. So if you have anything in your heart you want to spell, you want to talk about with the nation directly, the floor is yours.
Honestly, when it comes to the USC in general, we are one of the grandest nations in the world. And for that, we need good leaders. But whoever you vote for this GenSec election, know you are making a good choice either way. Lead and me are both experienced when it comes to this, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to defining our next point of history in Eldham. Because in the end, we are all one big community. And the cycle of the USSC comes to the fact that a leader is nothing without their community. And when a community can choose who leads them, then they are making the right choice in the end. Both me and Lead have big plans, and we both want to work towards them. So consider that for when you next vote.
Thank you so much, Comrade IJK. Comrade Lead, you have 2 to 3 minutes to address the nation. Say anything in your heart. You have the floor.
Yeah, I mean, IGK summoned it, I guess, pretty well. Like, we both are here. We both are very experienced. I would even say sometimes that with nation leading and maybe like with connections, IGK is even more experienced than I am. But therefore, I know the USC better and stuff. I know a lot of you guys that are listening right now. But that's just the part because IGK is not fresher here, like is newer here. I don't know how to say that. I don't care.
I've just been, the debate rules allow me to respond to
Yes,
them.
absolutely. This is a free for all right now.
Respond.
Okay. When you were right about that, I've been missing for most of the USSE's history after the collapse of the Eldham Union because I had a duty to go back up to the north and secure it because, as you know, post-COG, it has been just chaos there.
I know, and I won't say that there's anything bad. I just wanted to mention that. So we both know that the first point that like we need to give you guys a fun experience here. We both know that as I guess good leaders or something. We both know how to lead the country. It's just I think up to you who you would prefer more in that election. I guess that's all.
Thank you so much, Comrade League and Comrade IJK as well. Today has been a very long day. We conducted our GenSec debates concerning the addressing the most important questions of this election. Tomorrow, God wills it, begins the elections. Citizens of the USSE and our comrades, make sure to go and drop your vote in the elections. Glory to the people and glory to the USSE. You all have a good night.
Glory to the USSC.
Glory to the USSE, my friends.